We're now in Georgetown in Washington, D.C. and this is the C&O Canal towpath. As you can see here, there's a bit of water going through here, and the way this works is, a long time ago they used to pull little boats through here. That's why they call it a towpath. So you would have the little boats going through here, but on each side they'd have either horses or something just basically pulling that boat along just to get it by. Let's see if we get a closer look here. Quite a jump. Let's walk up a little more and see what else we can find along here. Georgetown is a very, very old neighborhood. It's also one of the wealthiest, and if not in Washington, D.C., but in the United States. A lot of wealthy folks, a lot of expensive shops, but a lot of people also come here for its historic relevance. As you can see here, the red brick sidewalks. This is the Chesapeake and Ohio Canal National Historical Park Visitor Center. So it starts with 1825 when the canal was broken open. See pictures here. Through 1850. As you can see, it's come a long way. And all the way up through the present. And this is the path here. So we are just about here. Then it empties out into Rock Creek. Quite a nice walk. And you can go here to buy your tickets. I believe they give tours, a lot of walking tours. Probably not too many. Right now it's in January and it's quite cold out here. Maybe about 35 degrees Fahrenheit. But it is a beautiful day, very sunny. Looking further down, it's kind of hard to see, but all the way in the distance is the Potomac River. And that's alongside of the edge of Georgetown. We're going to cross here. Georgetown is a pretty big neighborhood in terms of walking. And they divide these sections up into what they call locks, where they literally shut the gates, let the water come up or go down so that the boats can pass properly. A lot of old style buildings, old style architecture. And this is one of the original boats that used to be pulled along the canal. This one is called the Georgetown. This is a good idea of what the lock looks like. You see how it's raised here, but then it goes down further. So this gate controls how much water is allowed to go through at any given point. It doesn't really work anymore. Like this boat doesn't really go anywhere anymore. It's just pretty much for display. And over here we have some interesting looking houses, shops, a little sushi place over here. Very colorful buildings as well. This is sushi to go. It's so small, I guess that's the only way you can probably really appreciate it. In the summertime, you see a lot of tourists that come from all over the world to see Georgetown and some of the historical places around here. So I think we are gonna get off the towpath and cut up the street here. Looks like this is 31st Street. Another thing about Georgetown, it's filled with some of the best restaurants from really all over. You can have Italian, like you see here. It looks like the Canale. Maybe a little too cold to sit outside today. We have a fish market where you get fresh crab cakes. Paper Moon, Italian cafe. And another Italian restaurant. Ristorante Piccolo across the street. Looks like the Moby Dick Kebab House. Let's see what's on the menu here. Wow, a whole Maine lobster for $16.95. It's just around brunch time, so you can see this is the main entrees that they have here. If you're ever visiting Georgetown, I'd recommend not driving unless you would like to spend a long time finding parking for your car. Parking is not too good. There are garages. You pay a lot, but at least it's safe, and you don't have to spend too much time trying to park and spend more time walking around and checking out the shops and restaurants. So like I said, we're on 31st Street. Now we're coming up to M Street. M Street is the main corridor of Georgetown, and it really goes through the entire neighborhood. As you can see down here, looking all the way down to, I believe it touches Pennsylvania Avenue all the way in the distance. But as you can see, there's really hundreds of shops all around here. Where that gold dome is, that's the old bank, and that intersection up there is M Street and Wisconsin Avenue. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk down a little bit and let's see if we can take a walk through some of the more historic places. As I said, this is the main path. You can find about, well, just about any sort of shop along here. More restaurants on this side. Looks like a burger place here. As I said, the people are from all over. This is not too far from Georgetown University, so a lot of college students here as well. It's a nice bow tie. This looks like a historic house. I'm not Sure exactly what this one is. And this used to be the Barnes & Noble bookstore, and it looks like, I guess, wow, it's closed. They're out of business. They've been open for years. We're going to cross the street over here. And we have the traffic operations. They are very, very, very quick to give you a ticket. You can almost guarantee you'll get a ticket in Georgetown if you don't feed the meter on time. That's the little Washington, D.C. flag, the 3 stars and the stripes. And it is a little warmer on the sunny side of the street here. That's the DC Metro bus. Just another way of public transportation in Washington, D.C. A little French restaurant, La Madeleine, across the street here. Another Italian restaurant. That looks great.
What?
A lot of people ride bikes around here, especially when it's warmer. Not too much in January and February.
Yeah, they include some free drinks. Thank you.
Frozen yogurt place. Seem to be really popular around here. So down there was the towpath where we first got started. Now we're at M Street and 30th. So we're going to walk up a little bit and take a look at the neighborhood. A Sotheby's. This is an auction house for very, very expensive properties. I don't really see the price, but you shouldn't be surprised if you don't see anything under $1 million. This is a classic looking house. It has I guess this is ivy along the door here. A lot of the historic houses have plaques, which basically say, as you can see here, Foundation for the Preservation of Historic Georgetown. Again, red brick sidewalk. Looks like a wrought iron staircase. Very classic. This one still has a Christmas wreath up. A lot of detail in some of these houses here. Looks like this one has a little garden. I'm sure it has a lot going on in warmer weather. Look at this yellow house. So we're coming up to 30th and Olive Street right now. This house looks like it has its main entrance here and even a little service entrance, I suppose, for the folks that come to fix it up. That's an interesting, I guess that's a chicken or a rooster.